Good evening, my dear friends. Tonight, I invite you to sit with me, not just physically, but in consciousness. Settle your breath. Let the noise of the day soften. Because what I am about to share with you is not simply an idea, but a shift, a subtle turning of the inner lens through which you have been viewing your life. For so long, many of you have been walking a path of spiritual growth with tremendous sincerity, tremendous effort, and yet, a quiet frustration. You feel that something isn't quite connecting, as though you're circling a doorway but never quite stepping through it. And you wonder why. Tonight, I want to speak directly to that confusion. My friends, there is a truth about your inner power, a truth that has been misunderstood, distorted, and taught backwards for generations. You have been told to approach yourself in a certain way, to work on yourself in a certain way, to pursue transformation in a certain way, and yet the very approach prevents the transformation you seek. But do not worry. This evening, I will show you the missing piece. I will show you the simple clarity that dissolves the struggle. Come closer. Let us begin. Tonight, I want to tell you something that may surprise you. Something that may even unsettle you for a moment. But stay with me. Stop trying to change your life. Stop working on yourself. Stop analyzing, correcting, improving, adjusting, healing, fixing. Stop all of it. I can already sense the reaction rising in you. Some of you are leaning back, eyebrows raised. Some of you are thinking, but isn't that why I'm here? Isn't that the entire point of spiritual growth, to change myself and change my life? And that, my friends, is exactly the misunderstanding I am here to illuminate. For years, you have been taught that transformation is something you do. That you must work tirelessly to become better, wiser, more aligned. That you must confront every flaw, dig through every wound, monitor every thought, and constantly adjust yourself until finally, you become the version of you who can have the life you want. But this is a tragic inversion of the truth. Because the moment you try to change yourself, you declare that the self you are now is unworthy, unfinished, insufficient. You reinforce the very identity you hope to escape. You do not realize that the effort to change is the glue holding your old patterns in place. Tonight, I will show you the real path. Not the path of effort, but the path of recognition. Not the path of changing your life, but the path of choosing the life that is already yours in consciousness. Let us turn the page together. Let us look closely, my friends, at why the traditional approach fails. Why years of effort, self-improvement, and spiritual work often leave people feeling exactly as they did before, only more tired and more self-critical. The entire struggle begins with a single, hidden assumption. If I am trying to change myself, it must mean there is something wrong with me as I am. This belief is subtle, but it shapes everything. When you say, I am trying to become happier, you are quietly declaring, I am not happy now. When you seek clarity, you affirm confusion. When you chase success, you affirm lack. When you work to achieve inner peace, you reinforce the idea that peace is distant from you. The language you use reveals the state you occupy. I'm working on my confidence. I'm fixing my mindset. I'm healing my past. I'm trying to improve myself. Every one of these statements is rooted in the same identity. The identity of someone who is incomplete. And consciousness does not respond to your words. It responds to the state behind your words. This is why so many people read books, take courses, attend workshops, repeat affirmations, and push themselves through endless cycles of self-work, yet feel no meaningful shift. Their actions are drenched in the energy of self-rejection. They are trying to escape a self they secretly believe is not enough. Effort, in this state, reinforces the very condition it hopes to escape. Trying to become peaceful creates tension. Trying to become successful magnifies the feeling of inadequacy. Trying to become happy strengthens the belief that happiness is missing. Trying to become aligned confirms you are misaligned. The harder you work to change, the deeper you anchor the identity of the one who needs changing. This is the illusion. This is the trap. And this is why the old approach cannot free you. Because the moment you try to become something, you step out of the state of already being it. Tonight, we unravel this illusion piece by piece. To understand why effort fails, we must step into a deeper truth about consciousness, one that most people sense intuitively but have never fully articulated. Consciousness does not respond to your striving. It responds to your identity. Reality mirrors not what you chase, but what you are being. If you stand in the identity of someone who is incomplete, lacking, or not yet ready, then no matter how passionately you reach for your desires, you are reaching from the very state that contradicts them. And consciousness can only reflect the position you occupy. This is why people feel as though they are always moving toward something, toward happiness, toward abundance, toward clarity, yet never arriving. Their actions come from the assumption that they are not yet aligned with what they want. So reality responds faithfully, and they continue to experience the journey instead of the destination. There is a profound difference between acting toward a desire and acting from its fulfillment. Acting toward is motivated by lack. Acting from is motivated by identity. When you act toward peace, you are confirming that peace is not here. But when you act from peace, peace must express itself. When you strive toward success, you imply distance. But when you make decisions from success, success becomes your norm. Effort toward something builds a path you must endlessly walk. Being something removes the path altogether. And this, my friends, is the loop so many find themselves trapped in. They try to reach a reality they have not yet claimed as their identity. They keep seeking states they are refusing to occupy. They chase experiences they have not allowed themselves to be. Consciousness is simple. It does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. So if striving fails, if effort traps you in the very identity you hope to transcend, what then is the real path? It is far simpler than you've been led to believe. Instead of trying to change yourself, recognize yourself. Instead of seeking alignment, choose alignment now. Instead of working to become the version of you who has the life you desire, assume the identity of that version now and live from it. This is not positive thinking. This is not pretending. This is not forcing a new emotion or visualizing a new outcome. This is a complete reversal of the traditional method. You do not transform by striving toward a new self. You transform by inhabiting the self that already holds what you want. You enter the identity first, and the world rearranges to match it. Think of it as stepping into a room that has always existed but that you had forgotten you were allowed to enter. There is no struggle in this. No tension. No constant self-monitoring. It is not an effort. It is a recognition. A remembering. A quiet acceptance of what is already true in consciousness. When you occupy the identity of the one who is whole, clear, aligned, worthy, fulfilled, your actions flow naturally, your choices become effortless, and life begins to move with the rhythm of something already complete. This is not work. This is rest. Resting in the truth of who you are now, rather than laboring to become someone you believe you are not. Tonight, we shift from becoming to being. Now let us go deeper into this new way of being. This way of thinking from the identity you choose, rather than about the desires you chase. When you inhabit the new state, something subtle yet extraordinary begins to occur. Your inner posture changes. Your awareness settles. The mind stops scanning for what is missing and starts moving with the quiet confidence of someone who already holds the outcome. You no longer look at your desires as though they are distant objects on the horizon. You look from them as though you are standing inside the fulfilled reality, seeing the world through its eyes. This shift is not dramatic on the outside, but inwardly it is revolutionary. The person who thinks about peace is still living in restlessness. The person who thinks from peace breathes differently, speaks differently, responds differently. The person who thinks about success compares, measures, and doubts. The person who thinks from success moves with ease, clarity, and decisiveness. The person who thinks about happiness longs for relief. The person who thinks from happiness finds joy in the smallest movement of life. When you think from the identity you choose, your emotions begin to align naturally. You don't force confidence. You remember it. You don't chase clarity. You inhabit it. You don't beg for worthiness. You embody it. From this state, choices change without effort. You speak more simply. You act more cleanly. You walk through your day with a quiet assurance that needs no external validation. You no longer ask, "How do I get there?" Because you are already there in consciousness. This is the end of striving. Striving belongs to the identity that lacks. Certainty belongs to the identity that is. And once you step into the new state, truly step into it, the world begins to reflect the ease, the clarity, the abundance, the peace that you have already accepted within. Thinking from the identity is not an intellectual exercise. It is a homecoming. A return to the version of you that has always existed in consciousness, patiently waiting for you to step into its shoes. I can already hear the concern rising in some of you, the quiet protest, the familiar hesitation. But I don't feel it yet. If I don't feel like the new identity, doesn't that mean I'm not truly in it? No, my friend. This is the oldest misunderstanding on the path. Feeling does not precede identity. Identity precedes feeling. You have been taught to wait for a sensation, a spark of confidence, a burst of joy, a wave of certainty, before you allow yourself to claim a new state. But feelings are not the cause. They are the echo. When you adopt an identity, even gently, your emotions reorganize themselves around it. Just as the body adjusts when you stand up straighter, your inner world shifts when you step into a new internal posture. People say, "I'll believe it when I feel it." But the deeper truth is, you will feel it when you believe it. A feeling is simply consciousness catching up to the position you have chosen. Think of it like stepping into a warm room after being outside in the cold. The temperature does not change instantly, but the moment you walk through the doorway, the transition has already begun. The warmth is inevitable. So do not wait for the sensation before you allow yourself to enter the new identity. Claim it first. Simply, quietly, without theatrics. Let the feelings arrive in their own timing, like ripples following a stone that has already been cast. They always do. Now that you understand the principle, let us turn to its application. The path is simple, but it requires consistency, attention, and a quiet commitment to your inner authority. Begin each morning with a question, "Who am I today?" And do not answer with what you hope to become or what you wish to acquire. Answer from the identity you choose to inhabit. I am the one who is already fulfilled, aligned, and complete. Let this answer settle into your body, your posture, your breath. Let it be the starting point for every thought and action. Throughout your day, act from completion. Decisions are no longer made from lack, anxiety, or hope. They are made from the state of already having. When you speak, let your words carry the calm certainty of someone who does not need to prove anything. When you think from the identity, not about it. Thoughts should flow naturally from the state you occupy, not attempt to manufacture it. You will notice that the world often presents evidence that contradicts your choice. Challenges, distractions, old habits, unexpected outcomes. This is normal. Do not allow sensory evidence to dictate your assumption. Remain loyal to the identity you have chosen. Your commitment to the state is the signal to consciousness that this is the reality you intend to inhabit. Every action, every word, every choice reinforces the new alignment, like sunlight nourishing a seed that has already been planted. The key is not perfection. The key is presence in the identity, day after day, moment after moment. With patience, consistency, and quiet faith, the inner alignment you choose will naturally express itself outwardly. You are no longer trying. You are simply being. Let me share with you two stories that illustrate this principle in action. These are not extraordinary feats. They are the natural unfolding of someone inhabiting a new identity. A young woman came to me, frustrated and exhausted. She had been trying to improve her relationships for years, reading books, attending workshops, even following every rule for communication and connection. Yet nothing felt different. I asked her to stop all effort and instead, simply assume the identity of someone who is already deeply loved and understood. At first, she resisted. "But I'm not loved this way," she said. I told her to let that thought exist but not guide her actions. Within days, she noticed a shift. Conversations with friends became effortless. Small gestures of warmth appeared without her planning them. She was no longer trying. She was being. And almost magically, new connections blossomed as if the world had been waiting for her to step fully into that identity. A man seeking professional success came to me next. He had spent months chasing promotions, polishing his resume, and rehearsing interviews. Nothing worked. I asked him to live each day from the identity of the person who already held the role he desired. Decisions, emails, even how he carried himself in meetings, all reflected that state. Within a few weeks, an unexpected opportunity presented itself. The promotion came, not through effort, but as a natural alignment with the person he had chosen to be. In both cases, notice the common thread: no striving, no pushing, no frantic attempts. Just living from the identity, letting life adjust naturally to the state they occupied. The results were not forced, they were effortless. They were the natural consequence of being, rather than doing. Before we move further, I want to address a common misunderstanding about techniques. Visualization, affirmations, journaling, and other practices are not the source of your transformation. They are not the cause of the new reality. They are simply tools, ladders, if you will, that help you step into the identity you wish to inhabit. Imagine a ladder leading to a rooftop. Climbing the ladder is helpful, necessary even, to reach the top. But once you step onto the roof, do you continue holding the ladder? Of course not. The roof is your reality. The ladder is just a temporary means to reach it. Techniques serve the same purpose. They guide you into the state of being, helping you align with the identity that is already present in consciousness. The moment you inhabit that state fully, the techniques are no longer required. They are supportive, not essential. Relying on them endlessly keeps you on the ladder, still trying, still reaching, still in the energy of lack. Step onto the roof. Live from the state. Let the tools be what they are, guides, not creators. Your transformation does not depend on techniques. It depends on the identity you occupy. Now, my friends, let us step into the deepest truth of all. This is the principle that underlies every teaching, every method, every experience you have ever had. You are not creating reality. You never have been. You never will. All possibilities, all states, all outcomes already exist within consciousness. Every version of you, the joyful, the abundant, the aligned, the fulfilled, exists now in the infinite expanse of being. Reality is not something external that must be built, earned, or forced. It is a reflection of the identity you occupy. Your experience aligns with the state you claim. The world mirrors the consciousness you hold. When you inhabit peace, peace expresses itself. When you inhabit confidence, confidence flows naturally. When you inhabit abundance, abundance responds in kind. Choosing an identity is not symbolic, it is literal. To select the self that already has what you desire is to select the reality that matches it. Every thought, word, and action arising from that identity reinforces the state. The physical world becomes a reflection, a mirror, a confirmation of what has been chosen internally. This is why effort, striving, and manipulation cannot replace being. You do not construct reality. You tune into it. You do not manifest. You select. You do not force. You occupy. The ultimate secret, the cosmic law, is simple. The reality you experience is the reality of the self you choose to be. Occupy it fully, and all else follows. Tonight, make the shift. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. Do not allow old patterns of effort and striving to guide you one more moment. Stop trying to change yourself. Stop laboring to become. Stop chasing outcomes as though they exist outside of you. Instead, step fully into the identity that already holds what you seek. Be the one who is fulfilled. Be the one who is aligned. Be the one who moves through life with ease and certainty. Every thought, every choice, every breath, let it flow from this new identity. Do not think about becoming. Think from having. Do not try to force reality. Live as if it is already here. Do not hope. Be. This is the essence of transformation. Identity, not effort. Being, not doing. Naturalness, not struggle. Carry this into tomorrow, into the hours of your life. When challenges arise, when the world whispers otherwise, return to the state you have chosen. Act from it. Speak from it. Think from it. And watch as life aligns effortlessly, as the world reflects what consciousness already holds. Tonight, choose yourself. Tonight, Occupy the state that is already yours. Tonight, be fully who you are, and let everything else follow. Thank you, my dear friends, for sitting with me tonight. Thank you for opening your minds, your hearts, and your consciousness to a truth that is subtle yet profound. You are here because your soul is ready. You are here because, deep within, you have already begun to remember the power you have always held. This is not a new lesson to be learned. It is a reality to be recognized, embraced, and inhabited. Carry this teaching gently into your life. Let it guide your thoughts, your words, your choices. Allow yourself to rest in the identity you have chosen, confident that all alignment, all clarity, all fulfillment naturally flows from being rather than doing. And as you go from this space, may you move with ease. May you act with grace. May every step be a reflection of the consciousness you now occupy. Return to this teaching whenever you feel the pull of old habits, the whisper of striving, or the shadow of doubt. Come back to this space. Reclaim the quiet certainty that is always yours. Until we meet again, may you live fully as the one who already has, already is, and already knows. Go in peace, and let your being shape your reality.